Hello,
Hello,
I'm out with Ross.
I'm here. I'm in a video, not
Yes.
just behind the computer
Exactly.
for a change.
You do exist.
It's strange. I think we said this in the past video where you'd done the GDPR and I came out for the first time in a long time and suddenly you had twice as many subscribers, and I think the same's happened again.
Yes, it has,
So
hasn't it?
it's suddenly like this. It feels
Yeah.
again like, oh, there's people watching.
It's like your reward. We're out to celebrate 2 years on YouTube. Our first ever video was, I forget,
26th of November, 22, and today's the 19th, 24. So
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's gone quick, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Has
Yeah.
it for you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too,
I think you
actually.
said in the 1 year review that you couldn't believe it 1 year ago we were just doing that canoe camping video and
Yeah.
starting it all, and it feels
Yeah.
the same again. Can't believe that's 2 years.
I
So,
know, yeah. The canoe
Yeah.
video. Watch the first video.
Yeah.
You can compare us now to then, how much more proficient we are.
Yeah.
Which probably isn't
How
much.
poorly we've aged.
Yeah,
in 2 years.
poorly we've aged. So the plan is to go out for a bit of a ride. We're going to find somewhere to stop. We're going to eat some food.
I think you said in the 1 year review 55 videos in the first year.
Yeah.
40. This will be 45 this year.
Wow.
So slacking a little, we've dropped off.
Yeah.
But those that can add up will realise that's 100 videos. So this is 2 years and 100 videos. So
Excellent.
I
Wow.
thought we'd plan some little appropriate celebration.
Yeah.
We were going to do something fancy, like make it a bit of a jokey, fancy
Yes.
dining experience.
Yeah.
But then I thought that doesn't befit your brand, does it?
My brand, yeah, that's it. So what we're going to eat, unhealthy
Unhealthy, low nutritional value food.
and daytime drinking.
Daytime drinking. So yeah,
Works for me. So we're at Rendlesham Forest, of course, my go-to place, and I need to film a video and I can't be bothered figuring out different places to go. We need to find a clearing of some sort so we can set up. It was going to rain, so I brought a tarp, but it's not looking like rain now. In fact, it's an absolutely gorgeous day. This looks good. I love this place.
So these are the cheap Helinox knockoff chairs, aren't they?
yeah. Yeah, they're good though.
Yeah, I know.
They're
yeah.
more comfortable than the Helinox ones.
But we covered that in the
Cheap versus
cheap
expensive,
versus expensive.
which was one of the videos from this year.
Yeah.
Good segue.
Thank you.
This table's never been featured. You've got this. Never been used. I don't think so anyway.
I feel like I've used it.
Have you? Oh. Okay.
I assume it has been used at least once.
Never been used by me.
Anti-sync device.
That'll work. An ASD. It works, doesn't it?
It does.
There.
Nice.
That's my work done.
I'm going to move that a bit closer.
I don't really know what we're having.
No, I'll say that in a second. Basically, I was aware that we're quite small in that shot now. Oh, God.
That's pretty good. We're both in, we're in the middle.
Yep.
There's a bike behind us for the more ADHD of our subscribers to look at. What else can we put there to keep them occupied?
Bring in some local wildlife to entertain them.
Yeah. Should we snare some badgers? Yes, so what are we having?
We're having hot dogs, just nice and simple. I did think about for a celebratory, I don't know what you call this, trip out into the woods.
Yeah. I couldn't call it anything
No,
else.
I thought about steaks. We've done steaks before, something like that. But I just thought keep it simple, and also you're all about the simple food on your channel, aren't you?
Yeah, I am
The
actually.
quick, easy food that you can grab on
Well, hot dogs are complicated in my...
compared to what you'd cook. Actually, yeah.
So, no, that's good. Are they good ones?
They seem like good sausages. Co-op's finest.
Co-op... No, that's Tesco finest. Co-op irresistible.
Well, that's even better.
I mean, Is there any such thing as an irresistible sausage?
Well, we'll find out.
We will, won't
There's
we?
6 of them.
Oh,
If
I
we
see.
leave any,
Yeah,
then they are not irresistible.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to make cowboy coffee because you've never had it.
No, I don't think I have.
No.
I think we tried it once.
Yeah.
And it didn't work or something. I don't know, because you've perfected it since.
I tried it with my brother and it didn't work. And you edited that video.
Maybe I've confused
You may
that.
have superimposed
It does seem
yourself
weird. I do
into
feel
it.
like I've met
Yeah.
people that I haven't met because of all the editing.
You have met my brother, though.
No, I've never met your brother.
Really?
No.
You're kidding me? How weird.
Yeah.
Right. Cowboy coffee. The best of all coffee. I'm excited for you. We've got no spoon. So it's all guesswork.
You not stir it in?
No?
No, just let it sink.
Yeah. God, they are irresistible. I want to eat them now, raw. So this is not rain.
No, it's not rain.
There's not a cloud in the sky.
The opposite to rain, really.
You've got to ignore the forecast.
Yeah, which you
would
didn't do.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you had a different thing planned today, didn't you? And
Oh,
we
yeah.
changed the order because it was going to rain all day and night.
That's because this is an easier video. I struggle, we were going to say it later, I
Yeah.
struggle with any scripted video. I'm fine with ones when I'm away and doing things, but I
Yeah.
always put them off, I procrastinate terrible. That may mean there's not going to be as many videos.
But I think also because when you finished the GDMBR, we didn't really know what to do because we'd gone from a few hundred subscribers to about 2,000
Yeah.
nearly when you came back.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit like, it's gone from being a fun little just thing to do to,
Yeah.
well, this is
Yeah.
some momentum. So
But it didn't work.
between us, or you obviously doing them mostly, but you tried to go out and just do some local trips and
Yeah.
UK things, and particularly in the poor weather last
That Peak
winter.
District one, wasn't it? The one in the van when I
Yeah.
went up there. And if you watch that video, you can see I wasn't into it. So I don't know. This time I think I'm not going to force any content. That's not why the channel started, was it? It was just to inspire me to get out and do stuff. So yeah,
And also, you're planning to do lots of more of the bigger things, aren't
Yeah.
you? Like you've got at least
planned
two
this year.
coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing that you'll just do stuff when you want to do stuff.
yeah,
We've often said, haven't we, that when you first start the channel, you put as a little description thing at the about the channel. You wrote something like
hopefully a channel about me doing lots of things
yeah,
outside.
yeah. I think you wrote about 30 seconds of thoughts.
Yeah.
Just to
was a
put something
placeholder.
there. It's a good thing to come back to. I think.
Yeah.
I think that you see a lot of channels where as they get bigger, they find their thing that works.
Yeah.
And they narrow down into that and do lots
Yeah.
more of it.
They find a niche and then they just
Yeah.
focus on it, which is what you're supposed to
I mean,
do.
exactly,
isn't
that's
it?
not to be critical, that's what
Yeah.
we do. But then I think you do often see then these people say, after a year, 2, 3 years of doing that, they start to find that it becomes a little bit monotonous, just doing the same thing. Trying
they
to
burn
find-
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas trying to keep variety is
Yeah.
probably a good thing. I think when we speak about some of our favourite videos, highlights and things like that, we might mention the trip that you did to Europe, which was, didn't get as many views as a lot of
No.
the other stuff, but you
No.
love doing it, and I think
was-
they're really interesting. And that sort of variety is probably going to be very good in the long term, isn't
I
it?
thought that was some of the best stuff we did. But we're jumping the gun. We're going to go into
We
it
will go
later.
into that later, but yeah.
Yeah. For the time being, I'm going to do this for this thing. I hope I haven't been doing that through the whole conversation,
I think so.
because that'd be distracting, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, but maybe in a good way. You will help people like a fidget toy. That's like a visual fidget toy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And it's quiet, so no editing issues for me, so that's fine.
So, cowboy coffee. If you haven't seen it done before, you just pour the coffee, ground coffee, into water, bring it to the boil, a rolling boil, which sort of stirs it. And then you've got to pour a little bit of cold water in right at the end. And somehow that helps the grounds to sink to the bottom. Look at that. Let's see. Tell me when you see any grounds. You're too late. It's not too strong. Not as strong as I thought. You might like it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That is quite strong.
Yeah. But it's not bitter,
No, it's not.
is it?
No.
That's what you get from cowboy coffee. I think it is the best of all coffee. So we got some stats here, which you put together.
Yeah, to mark 2 years
Yeah.
on YouTube.
At 1 year, we had 2,732 subscribers. And at 2 years, we've just hit 13,050.
Yeah,
That is a big jump.
that's a big jump. And 2,000, what was it, 2,200 odd? That seems like a crazy number when you were doing that first video, because that was just after the GDMBR, like soon after.
Yeah.
And obviously things jumped a lot when you were on the
Yeah, they
Great
did.
Divide.
Okay, so the next stat, views. At 1 year, we had 212,000 views, and now we have over 1.3 million.
Yeah.
1.3 million views. So views are one thing.
Yeah.
Watch time is key. And here, you say we have 426,000 hours of watch time, which is
That was I had to work out. I thought, what is that in months, years? Yeah.
Yeah.
It turns out it's 48 and a half years of watch time. I think that was going to be the next stat. In the last year, the long full movie of the Great Divide route that he did, that is by far the most successful video.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's,
isn't
what was it, about 340,000?
345,000 views, yeah, and it accounts for well over half of all the watch time.
Yeah. We weren't sure how that would go. We knew we wanted to do it because we'd seen how other people's long trips had performed well. Obviously, the Ryan Van Duzer one, which you watched him do his Great Divide video, which kind of inspired you to do it yourself.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so we weren't sure what to expect from that. I thought it could even have done worse than the original series, just because a lot of our subscribers, your subscribers, our subscribers, would have
Already watched
it, and I didn't have people who want to watch it again. So it was encouraging that that did so well.
I'm just pleased at the amount of work you put into that, because that took you, I mean, I don't know how many hours it took, but
a lot of time.
a lot of time. So I'm glad that it worked out for your sake, because I think you did kind of go off the rails with that one.
Slightly. I remember as it went out, I was sort of thinking, I don't know what would justify. I don't know what amount of views would get to the point where I'd be like, yeah, that was justified the work.
Yeah,
And I think it definitely has.
Anyway, these are done.
The rolls have fallen apart a little bit. The buns quartered themselves.
triangle.
They've all done it.
What's happened?
I don't understand.
Are you sure they weren't already pre-cut?
They weren't. Oh, maybe they were pre-cut. That would make more sense, wouldn't it?
You cut a pre-cut sausage bap.
Yeah, I did.
Good.
Are they irresistible?
I won't go that far, but they're pretty good. Not that I generally drink. Actually, I can't say that I don't drink through the day. You've just watched my videos, haven't you?
Say.
But not when I'm home.
Well, I thought it did. It was fitting to go with the meal.
Oh, so you're recreating my terrible diet.
Your daytime beer.
Cheers.
IPA as well. Cheers.
Here's to the channel. What do you think of that one?
It's nice.
It is good, isn't it?
Yeah,
Elvis
nice one.
juice. Grapefruit. Do you know, I'm not an alcoholic, but I took one sip and my whole body just sort of relaxed. Maybe I am an alcoholic.
Oh.
No.
Who knows?
I'm not. I've hardly drunk since I got home. I think when you're riding all day in the sun, a beer at the end is probably one of the greatest things in the world. Oh, well. If I am, I am.
It's probably a good job you've got the YouTube channel. There's like a illusion for everything, because the lifestyle without the
fame.
without the fame, just riding around eating crap and drinking during the day.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, now that would be a problem, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
What you're saying then is it's really the subscribers' fault.
enabling you.
Yeah. So, the next segment, favourite video. I have no idea. I'm going to think about it whilst you're answering.
Okay.
So, what's your favourite video?
I think that of stuff that I joined you for, I enjoyed the coast to coast ride we did, Race in the Sun. That was quite good fun, just after you got back from Europe. That one, wasn't it? I think that was a good challenge, because I think we worked the time of year where the night would be just the right length, where it was kind of a challenge, but we thought it would be doable and kind of leaning towards
Success.
comfortably doing it, because we wanted a bit of time to be able to shoot the odd bit and stop and talk and all of that stuff to turn it into a nice little video. But it ended up, we realised fairly early on that it was tighter than we thought it would be.
By the
And
time
that
we got
really
to the
did feel
middle.
like a challenge. We only had 20 minutes to spare as we got to the end, and it was really nice to do it. And actually then, I think it was a slightly cloudy morning, wasn't it? But you felt like the sun was rising as we finished. And
definitely.
it's nice doing something just a bit different. That was a challenge. It was unusual. We had the funny moments where you're just riding through these places in 2-3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it just had a strange, like you were doing something wrong. Do you know what I mean? It had a weird feel about it.
Like you're an interloper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And,
But I loved that when we got to Newcastle and we're riding on places that you could never even attempt to ride, but just
during the day,
flying along,
flying,
along the river, the Tyne. That was a good video, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be up there on my list.
It probably wouldn't be my favourite just because I find it weird editing myself when I'm in a video. I think anyone would probably find that strange, just looking at yourself, choosing which bits to put in.
Yeah.
And so I think I can probably enjoy the videos more when I'm not in them. So
I enjoy the videos more when you're not in them as well.
as does everyone, I'm sure. And the but no, I think something from the Europe trip, I think we mentioned it before, that trip was like really interesting. Like it didn't do quite as well on the channel, like didn't quite get the views that some of the other stuff does. I think it was slightly obscure what the videos were about. You know, there's a bit of van stuff, bit of hiking, bit of riding.
Yeah.
In particular, I remember putting together that one where you went to Minerve, I think. It was a really interesting place where you went through the cliffs and things like that and walked through some caves and stuff.
Yeah.
The way we kind of did that is you were travelling around, and as you were going to a place, I'd just look up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think you said in the video sometimes I'd plan a
Every
ride
time.
or a hike. Yeah.
Every time, yeah. Yeah, I mean, how great for me. How great for me.
Did.
So I
But
had to do the driving.
I found it really interesting just looking up the history, and I think there's something about when you're actually filming these places, and you went to that chateau, and it was like this thing of this religious group, the Cathars, had been there, and they were under siege for like months, and you can you're actually in the place, you can imagine what the conditions would have been like. And
Yeah,
then,
as soon as you said it, the Cathar thing, I can put myself there now. Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
so yeah, that was really interesting, and I think that video just had a bit of a mix of anything, bit of riding, bit of walking, bit of history, amazing views. So anyway, that
was that your favourite then?
I think that's probably my favourite. Yeah. Okay, we had to have a warming up break.
You have, yeah, because you were suddenly looked different.
I suddenly
your
have a
on,
hat.
did you? Yeah, and because I'm old and have no circulation,
Get cold.
I'm just permanently the same temperature.
Yeah. So if the last section was, I looked like shivering.
You know why?
Yeah.
It is actually cold. I mean, I don't know how cold it is, but
It's about 4 degrees, so it is cold.
But it's cold.
Yes.
Celsius.
Celsius.
Yeah.
4 degrees Celsius. We'd have icicles dripping off us if it was Fahrenheit, wouldn't we?
It gave me chance as well, whilst you were jumping around like a mad person, to think about my favourite videos. And it's difficult because I have to divorce the experience from the video. It has to be as a video in its own right, I think. So I'm kind of thinking of my favourite video and my favourite moments.
Yeah.
But I think my favourite video was that one that you and I did. It was cheap or budget bikepacking versus the expensive one. We bought that cheap bike, and I rode that, and you rode my nice bike.
Yeah.
That's the one, and we saw, because we went to that
nice.
church, and there was that legend of the dragon, and we saw that. Did we see a chalk dragon?
Yeah,
And
in the hills.
that was, and we couldn't find a campsite, and eventually we found the perfect place, and we had steaks and everything.
that
You
was
know,
nice.
I mean, I like that video because I like the variety where there's a bit of chat, and a bit of scenery, and I think that was the right balance. So, I mean, the experience as well of that one was a really good.
That was a good night out, and it did actually. I think it serves the purpose we hope for, because we had quite a few comments saying, about people who want to get into bikepacking and haven't watched your videos, which is a really nice thing.
Oh yeah.
And some people saying about on the budget, where to get started, all this sort of stuff.
That answered all of those.
Yeah, it
questions,
answered all of
didn't
that. That really was a very reasonably priced bikepacking setup, but it worked, didn't it?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was really, really reasonable, and it worked flawlessly.
Yeah. So I think that was really nice because
it
was fun to do,
and it served a purpose.
and it actually served a purpose. Yeah.
And I've said before, a little tangent, I suppose. I never thought that inspiring people would be the point of this channel, and it isn't really. But when you hear it, it does make it. It gives it another dimension, doesn't it? It makes it more important. I mean, I love that. But that was a really good video, and it was just a good day.
Yeah.
So that's my favourite video, I would say. I mean, it's strange, really, because it's not a Trans Am one, and you would expect it to be. So I'm making more coffee and not paying attention. It's overflowing. But then, just as I was saying that, I was thinking like favourite moments maybe of the year if you take the videos out of it. And I have to say, pedaling that weird, crazy bike of Gandhi's on the Potomac, not the Potomac, the Potomac River, and it was a beautiful day. The scenery was gorgeous, and I mean, I just had a really nice night the night before, and I had a nice night ahead of me, and I just remember feeling like I couldn't have been anywhere better at that point. So favourite moment would be that, I would say.
That did look, that looked like a lot of fun.
But watch that budget versus expensive one. For me, that's what YouTube videos should be. A little bit informative, bit fun, not clickbait. I hate clickbait. I can't stand it. It drives me. Oh my God. See, there'd be clickbait, wouldn't it? It all went wrong. And a picture of me like that. Yeah. I think we'll have to call that done. What else are we going to do? What's our next Let's make this coffee.
Yeah, let's make the
pour it
coffee then, I think.
to warm you up.
Yeah.
I can't stand to see a grown man shiver.
Last year in the 1 year one, it was interesting because you said in that you were sort of overwhelmed by the community feel of having all these people commenting and interacting with people through that way. I think it's interesting the jump from just this kind of online thing to what you've had in the past few months over the Trans Am.
like actually meeting
the people. Yeah, so I think, I don't know.
Yeah, but the Trans Am, I see what you mean. That's been completely different, hasn't it? Although I've still had that, the engagement with the community, which is epic, by the way. But actually meeting people, I didn't know how I'd feel about it.
No.
And we discussed it before we went out when we said about putting the tracker up.
I remember you were planning to do it, and I sort of said, "Are you sure you want the tracker?" Because you know, you just don't know. Anyone can come find you, can't you?
Yeah.
I think it's a testament to the quality of viewer that we have. That you had. I mean, how many meetups must you have had?
I don't know.
So many. It was daily after a certain point. I mean, more than one a day, wasn't it?
More than one a day.
And you didn't have one person come out.
No.
And meet you, who you were like anything but like thrilled to meet.
I enjoyed
just great people.
I enjoyed every single person that came out. I enjoyed their company, and I mean that I would never have guessed that because I didn't know that about myself. I'm quite sociable, but I have a limit, and then I need my own space, and that didn't happen this time. I was grateful for any of the company I received, and I genuinely enjoyed it all, and it was such a strange feeling. I enjoyed the fact that people were coming out to meet me, and it was all so easy. It wasn't forced.
That's what I was thinking watching it. It was almost like it's like a shortcut to making friends, isn't it? Because it's like you've got past that initial bit, and you can just get straight on to chatting away. And
then every time someone would come up and they'd say, you know, they watched the channel, and then we were straight into a conversation, possibly talking about what I'd been doing a couple of weeks prior, and it was all so natural. Yeah, it was incredible. A few people did say actually on the GDMBR they preferred that series because I was doing more camping, and I get that completely. And there was one comment in particular where somebody pointed out that it was unrealistic this time on the Trans Am because I was meeting people where you wouldn't necessarily have met them if you weren't on YouTube.
The GDPR one was probably more of a guide for someone thinking of doing it, whereas this one became the different sort of series.
Just my experience.
It was just your experience, and your experience is, like the person said, that's not going to be replicated by other people. So it is a different experience.
The other thing, of course, the Trans Am, it wasn't like the Divide where every day there was options of campsites, especially when I got on the bike non-stop, and it was a case of camping in city parks or staying in people's houses if they offered it. And of course I was going to go with that. I think the TA is going to be more camping. But that was a really good comment, whoever sent that one.
I think that shows as well, you can't force a trip or whatever to be something it's not. And that one was different because particularly on the eastern third, I'd say the United States becomes much more densely populated there. There's not really the same opportunity to wild camp, therefore you are going to be in more built up areas. And you just, there was more people to come out and meet you there.
Yeah, I think we're going to strike a balance.
Yeah.
It's going to be a balance between being a bit of a guide, because I think we both like that idea.
Yeah, no, it does.
And reflecting on my experiences, but nothing can be forced. I say all that. It's not as if we have a say.
No.
Each trip is going to be what it is, and it all depends on how I feel that day. But I can tell you, when I'm 4 days out from a shower and I'm tired, I'm worn out, and somebody offers me a bed and a shower, I am going to take it.
Yeah.
So,
puff pastry mince pie.
Let's try one. Try what this is like.
What this is like is a nice puff pastry mince pie.
I've got to take little bites.
Yeah, I think that's not too big actually. There was one bit on the trip where you're having a wrap. It was like full of mayonnaise and stuff, and you honestly ate half the wrap in one bite. And then for the next 4 minutes of you talking, you were moving this mayonnaise around your mouth, and I was watching you in between cuts, just trying to force this thing down. I was like,
You must hate me.
In that moment I did, but not generally.
So I guess really we could think about what the future year is going to be. Where are we going to be at 3 years?
It's so hard to predict because we went through that. In the first year it was all very slow, and then it kind of picked up, and then this year it went crazy for a bit.
The key thing is we're going to do what we're going to do regardless.
Yeah, I mean, from last year, I think we'd got our first like small little ad money when you did the 1 year review, didn't we?
Yeah.
And now, I mean, you know, anyone that knows how YouTube works, you make money for the ads that people watch, you know, a percentage, and that's pretty much all of our, well, most of our income that we get from YouTube comes from that, and it's a decent amount now. I mean, you're doing the New Zealand trip in January.
Yeah.
You were going to be doing that later, or maybe even the following year, but you've made money through YouTube, and you're going to do it then. So it's kind of like,
instead of one big trip a year,
Yeah.
then maybe 2 trips a year
Yeah.
now. And I suppose that's all directly related to how much money the channel makes. And I mean, there's obviously ad money now, and we're getting a bit from Ko-fi as well, which is
much appreciated.
yeah,
That's really
yeah,
nice. I mean,
really
anything through that, because that's why I went through Ko-fi, wasn't it? 'Cause a lot of people go through Patreon. We didn't want to put stuff where people had to pay to get extra content.
No,
So
no.
whereas Ko-fi, it's like you can do a monthly thing where you give a little bit of money. You can just one off. You can give like a couple of quid or something like that.
Which is what it's mainly
which is
for,
what it's
isn't
mainly
it?
for. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just nice.
On that note,
It's fine.
so we're all packed up on our way back out. One thing we didn't talk about is upcoming plans for next year, so that'd be 2025. The Tour Aotearoa. Aotearoa. I will learn it. The Tour Aotearoa. That's in January. I've booked my flights. I fly out on the 10th of January there. So we got that to come. That's going to be amazing. There'll be a proper announcement video for that with all the information. Arizona Trail later in the year then, in the autumn, or the fall. So that's going to be a hike. I got a couple of van trips and things planned, one in Scandinavia with my brother. All of this stuff is subject to change, of course. Well, not the New Zealand one because the flights are booked. But there'll be plenty of other things as well. Additionally, we're going to put more effort into the review channel. It's nearly at 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So we're going to get more reviews up on there. There'll be a link to that down below.
So the idea with your reviews is that they are as short as you can possibly make them.
Yes, exactly.
So it's
yeah.
just all the detail, but no like filler.
Very to the point reviews.
Yeah.
The most recent one is a Kona Sutra video for this bike. So you may be interested in that. I'm lost. I think we go left.
I think so.
Yeah. So yes, there'll be that as well. More review videos. Have a look at that and subscribe to that as well. Get us over 1,000. That'd be great. So there we have it. Thank you for watching. Last thing, a question for you all. What would you like to see on the channel? Yeah, I'm always looking for ideas.
Yeah, you're always, I mean, you've had comments where people have suggested trips or places and you've looked into them and you're like, wow, that's something I've got, got to do. So,
yeah, put them on my list. So yeah, that'd be great if you've got any suggestions. Thank you for watching then, and we shall see you in the next video. Please give this a thumbs up if you like it. So yeah, I think that's it.
No, thank you for watching.
Yeah.
And thanks for watching for the last 2 years.
I'm not going to say any more.
You're not going to say what?
Goodbye. Can you do that wave?
No, I can't do that wave. No.
Can't you?
No.
Simple. Bye.